I completely forgot to mention before you watch this video, I'm going to throw this in the beginning, why I didn't buy the CD box set. And the reason for that is because I saw that it was those little like cardboard slip sleeves, not actual like gatefold, like just little crappy cardboard sleeves with the CD shoved in. And then all the other contents were the same: the tour book, the book, the poster. Um, and I kind of wish that maybe they would have done similar to the other box sets that I've gotten in the past, where it was actually like a digibook, like gatefold digipack, digibook, or an actual jewel case. But no, it's just those crappy little cardboard sleeves with the CD thrown in there, and I was not a fan of that. So that's why I opted to go the route of the vinyl instead. But I'm happy with my decision. I would have probably eventually gotten the vinyl one regardless, but again, $50 is what I spent on this. So that was a good deal, and that's how much the CD box set is. So just forgot to mention that. I brought it up in the video, and then I never went back and talked about why I didn't get the CD one. But if you get the CD one, that's totally totally your preference. I'm sure it sounds great, but it just wasn't. I wasn't a fan of how they did the CD cases and stuff like that. So enjoy. All right, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Melly Loves Death Metal. Yep, I got it. I got the box set, and let's talk about it for a minute. Doing a hands video today. I don't feel like being on camera, and I want to do more of an unboxing and show you things more clearly rather than just holding it up to the camera. But yeah, this is the new Black Sabbath Tony Martin era box set that just got released like a week ago. I finally got it today. We'll talk about it in a minute, but just so you guys know, I really like Tony Martin, and I think it's totally underrated in terms of the Black Sabbath discography. Obviously not, my all-time favorite albums, but I do prefer some of these albums over some of the Ozzy era albums. I'm a pretty big Dio fan. I'm pretty biased to the Dio era albums, but nonetheless, this has been something that people have been asking for, a lot of these to be reissued because they just haven't been. They're incredibly expensive to find. I did come across a headless cross pressing in a record store a long time ago out in Mystic, Connecticut, and it was $50, and I regret never picking it up. I don't know what version of it. It might have been a bootleg, I don't know, but that's the only time I've ever seen them out in the wild. So if you're not familiar, this is 4 albums. The only album that it's not included on here right now is The Eternal Idol, and that is because it is out on another label, IRS. Was that what it was? Or no? I might be wrong about that. I can't remember what label it's out on. I'm not a Air Studios. I don't know. IRS is what these records are on. Never mind. Anyway, so there is one album missing here, and then also a live album, but nonetheless, 2 of these albums are what I've wanted on vinyl for a very long time. 2 of them. The other 2 are just an added bonus. Not my favorite albums, not ones that I'm super, super well versed on, or have admittedly listened to anytime soon. But this was enough justification for me to get. So I know a lot of you are probably like, hey, Melanie, you're unemployed. You've been talking about that. Well, I'm not anymore. I've been working on my 2nd week of work. But like, you're not buying records, stuff like that, you sell off your collection. That is correct. I will be 100% transparent with you guys. You guys like when I talk about the pricings of the box sets and stuff like that. I got this off of Amazon, and it was only $50. And the reason for that is because I had a $50 gift card that I have just had on my account, was planning on using it for any sort of a pre-order that was going to come through that I knew that I couldn't afford with my, with money. I got the gift card through like this rewards program that I have on our credit card. So I only spent $50 on it. And I actually think that's incredible. This goes for like $100 right now on Amazon, which is a pretty good price considering it's a box set. You're getting 4 LPs, a really nice book and stuff. So generally those tend to run a little bit more. And then the CD box set was only $50, which I did not get, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, enough of the blabbing. $50, like, that, just justifiable. And this is essentially going to start building back my collection slowly, like I've said in several thousand other videos. But yeah, so here's the box. Really nice lift top box, or whatever the hell they call it. That's the sides. This side is different too. There you go. And then there you go. The back is just shows you what is inside the box. There was also a sheet of paper outside of it. Comes right off. So I'll probably just put this in the box set and keep it. And then here is the hype sticker that I kept. I'm gonna cut this up, cut around it, and just put it in the box as well. There you go. So people like to see that, the box candy, as I like to call it. So 4 LPs, there's a massive book, and then a tour book replica, and then a poster. I did open this. I have not played anything yet. I did open it just to make sure everything was intact before I recorded this video, because, you know, sometimes stuff comes from Amazon and it doesn't make the trip. This was pretty well packaged, so nothing else in there. And when you open it right away, you get the booklet. The one thing I noticed is that some of this stuff is kind of hard to come out because there's like no pull ribbon. Stupid little critique, doesn't matter. So here is the book. Really nice booklet. I've seen a couple other YouTubers show this off, but since I'm doing like a pretty in-depth, I'll show you everything. It just talks about, you know, Headless Cross. We got some tour posters, which I love. I love this stuff. Like, I actually go through and read these things. And this is a big selling point for a lot of the box sets that I've gotten in the past, are these type of things. I still have quite a few box sets that I held on to that I just knew that would be impossible to get back. I just, you know, also because they weren't metal box sets, so selling them was going to take quite a bit longer. Oh, that's an awesome Metal Hammer magazine right there. Look at that. So I figured I'd just go quickly show you what the details of this are. Really nice quality. Goes through every single album on here, the tours, the pressings, like the PR pressings, all of that stuff. That's pretty cool. So it's a really nice book. And then the lyrics are in here. Yes. So the lyrics are in this book. They're not in each of the vinyls. That's not much of a big deal to me, but some people were kind of annoyed by that. The vinyls don't have the inner sheet with the lyrics on them, which I think the originals did. At least what I've seen, a lot of them did. I don't really care. That's not a big hit or miss for me. The lyrics are here, and that's all that matters. So there you go. So that's the book right on top. Put this off to the side. Get it out of the way. And here is the replica tour program from Headless Cross. This is pretty cool. Nice little additional bonus. I mean, I'll probably never look at this again. Like, I might open this box set like 2 years from now and be like, oh yeah, and then look through it again, similar to what I do with most of like my zines and my magazines. But I'll keep this in the box. I'll keep it in good condition. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Man, look at there we go. Reminds me of Stevie Ray Vaughan, I'm not gonna lie, with that hat. Those are some great images. Neil Murray, Jeff Nichols. That's so great. These are awesome images, man. It's like a time capsule. So there you go. There's the tour program that you get with there. Here is the poster. This is a huge Headless Cross poster that is somewhat similar to what you would get in the other pressings. I'm not going to open this, but I will take a picture of it and I'll put it on the at the end of this video or something. Actually, I might not even do that. But yeah, it's just the front cover of Headless Cross, and then God, it's so big. And then the Black Sabbath Headless Cross is at the top. Really, really hard to show on camera for how I have set up. But yeah, really nice poster. I'm going to frame this and hang it. Yep. That's what I'm going to do. I'm excited. Normally I keep the posters and stuff in the box set. Nope, I'm hanging this one. Deserves that treatment. So here we go. Here are the records. Let me get them out. Kind of a pain to get these out. That's another critique that I have, but not a big deal, not here to miss. So here's the back of the box. Nothing else. Let's put this out of the way and show off the records. So, Headless Cross. Amazing album. One of my favorite Black Sabbath albums. I would probably say within my top 10 at least. Maybe a little bit higher. Phenomenal record. It's highly, I feel like it's pretty underrated. Also, I feel like it's one of the Tony Martin albums that everybody just knows, maybe. Maybe that's a poor assessment, I don't know, but here you go. So here's the front and the back. And if you want comparisons to originals, there's several YouTubers that are doing that out there, where you can see like the color schemes, if it's darker, lighter, if they've changed it, they've exposed it or anything like that. Jurgen did it for his, so, but unfortunately I don't have that. Polyline sleeves, which is a nice touch. There's no seam splits in any of the records, which is nice, and they were jostling around that box quite a bit, so that is awesome. And then here are the center labels, so they're different than the originals, obviously. So again, no inner sleeves with the lyrics or anything like that, so it doesn't 100% replicate original pressings, but again, I'm just happy to have it on vinyl. But some people are really critical of that and upset about it, but I don't care. So just an FYI, the lyrics are in the booklet. Good enough for me. This one is my favorite. I am so pumped that I have it on vinyl. Like, you don't even understand. This is gonna be the first one I spend. Tear or Tire, I don't know how you say it. God damn, I love this album. This is like probably a top 5 Black Sabbath album for me. One of the first Tony Martin albums I ever heard. Simply phenomenal. His vocals on here are so good. Just an underrated vocalist as a whole. God damn, I love this album. So in Jurgen's video, he mentioned that this part down here with like the dragons and all of the other artwork, so you can see the dragons and the axe and stuff, is a little bit darker on this pressing and a little bit harder to see, but the original pressing, it stands out more. So because I watched this video, I know that. Otherwise, I would have never known that. So thanks, Jurgen. You're awesome. Also one of my favorite YouTube channels right now. Make more videos, dude. And then here's the back. God damn, I love this album. I'm so excited that I have it. Like, this was, if this is the only way to get the album, this was what I was going to do. It was just worth it at that point. And here is the center label. And it's the same on both sides. I should mention that. Some people like to know that. So these look like really nice pressings. Again, I haven't listened to them yet, but they feel good. They look good. They're clean. I don't see a whole lot of scuffing or anything like that, dust or anything like that. So that's good. Sometimes box sets have that issue, depending on that. But it's nice that they did the polyline sleeves. So there's that. Cross Purposes is next. Admittedly, an album I really didn't care too much for a whole lot, but I've gone back and re-listened to this recently, and it's hitting a little bit more. Very much a 90s album. You can hear it in the sound. Sometimes sounds like Alice in Chains, not gonna lie. And it kind of threw me for a loop, but I appreciate it now, and I actually really enjoy it. My listening tolerance is a little bit higher now in terms of these things. If I heard this like 4 or 5 years ago, I would be like, no, I don't want to listen to that album right now. I'll stick with Headless Cross and Tear. But yeah, I really enjoy this one. I think the cover, it's a pretty cool cover. So there's a few duds on here, I will admit. It's not a 10 out of 10 album, that's for sure, but it is a good album. I think it's a little bit more underrated. And then here is the record center label. So there's that. Gonna watch me re-sleeve. There we go. And then finally, the last thing is Forbidden. The album cover of this is slightly different than the OG from what I've seen, and I guess the CD as well, in terms of the Black Sabbath and the Forbidden, like the layout and stuff like that. This immediately is one of my favorite album covers. I love this artwork. So this album has a whole new remix, and it's been worked on. So I'll have to do some comparisons of the original to this one. Again, another underrated album. I do really enjoy this album. I like it better than Cross Purposes. So yeah, I'm excited about this. This was actually one of the first Black Sabbath CDs I ever bought when I started collecting their CDs. So yeah, there's a little bit of nostalgia. Like, God, I just love that album artwork so much. It's so cool. So there's the back. This came out in '95, which is crazy to think that it was that long ago. Like, what the hell? So yeah, admittedly, this is one of my first ever Sabbath albums that I bought. And so here's the story of it. I was such a huge Sabbath fan, Ozzy and Dio era, back in the day. I mean, 95, I was like 9 years old when this came out, so keep that in mind. And when I started to go collect the CDs and buy them, this was in the store. When I put it on, I was like, who the hell is that singing? What is that? Like, I didn't know the background of Black Sabbath. I may have been like 10, 12, 11 years old maybe, when I really started listening to Black Sabbath. And when I started buying the CDs, I was at least 17 years old when I had a job. So I didn't know, like, the internet wasn't really a thing. I wouldn't have known, you know, like, it just wasn't something, it was well-known knowledge for me. So when I put this album on, it's like, what the heck is going on here? That's not Ozzy. That's not Dio. So that was when I first learned of the Tony Martin era. But I liked it and I listened to it. And this is really one of the first Black Sabbath albums that I ever bought with my own money and listened to. Obviously, I also had Paranoid, Masters of Reality, and then Self-Titled. Those were like the first ones that I got. And then after that was Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. So yeah, great box set. I am super pumped for it. Can't wait to dig in and listen to it. Gonna go do that right now. I'm happy that I was able to get this. This was one of those things where I was like, I gotta get it because as soon as it sells out, people are gonna start selling it for stupid prices, and I doubt that they'll reissue it because they generally don't do box set reissues. So yeah, good stuff. Let me know. Like I said, it's not a perfect box set, but it's good for what we want it for. I would have liked to have the live album in here. It would have been cool if they got some rights to get the Eternal Idol into it. But again, we don't know what goes on in the background with that. Maybe they'll actually reissue these separately, which would be cool if they did that. It'll piss off a lot of people because they would buy this box set for specific albums and then be like, what the hell? You're just going to reissue it individually. That's happened to several other boxes that I've gotten. People were really upset about it. One I'm thinking about was Creator. They did that with. Windeer was another one that they did that with. So they might do that. I don't know. But for now, I'm happy. Good stuff. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.